Hey there, this is Malorian, and this is going to be two games in my Epic Magnus campaign. And actually, this first one is going to be just a tiny one. The guy I'm playing against actually likes playing the smaller games better, so this is going to start with a 15-point battle, and then we'll scale it up to 35. But in this first one here, he is running the Testament of Menoth. He is running the Blessing of Vengeance as the Jack. Then he has the Zealots there, but there's no UA. Same thing with the Errants. They also have no UA. So quite a few dudes here in 15, a lot more than you'd usually see. But they don't have all their tricks because they don't have the unit attachment. For my side, I'm trying to go Jack heavy today, so I'm going to be going with double Mangler and with the Renegade. That's actually 16 points, but if you run as a tier 1, it'll be 14 points. And there's no little 1-point thing I had to throw in, so there you go. The game we're playing here is the first one of 5 points. You get 1 for destroying the enemy objective, 1 for dominating the close zone on your left, and then 2 for controlling the enemy zone, and 3 for dominating. So the way that I set up this one here is I really want to make sure he doesn't start scoring big time on the zone on the left. So I have the one Mangler over there to kind of guard it if he is. But remember, with mobility, my guy can like zip over, march 14 inches. So he can be redeployed back really quickly if I need him. Otherwise, I'm hoping to really fight here in the right zone. And I'm hoping that depending on his kind of deployment, that I can really set up some pretty good threshers here and kill a bunch of dudes. So he gets first turn. I won the roll. I made him have first turn. And he's pretty much just running on up. So at this point here, it's pretty obvious that we're just fighting over the right zone. I'm guessing he's hoping that that's going to take my left Jack out of the fight. But as you're going to see, he's going to get there pretty fast. So after my next turn here, I'm basically putting 1 on each of those other jacks, casting mobility, going up to the wall here for some defense. My Renegade's there beside me. And yeah, I got both jacks zipping up. The right jack, which is my bonded one, put to toe in the zone just to make sure he didn't, kind of bog me out and trap me out to start scoring some points. And at this point, I know now he'll be coming into me, but I should have a pretty damn good countercharge. So that's what he does, is he's pretty much tying me up all over the place, leaving some room so they could have got that vengeance of, blessing of vengeance up in the middle. It has the spell up so that if I kill him as guys, he can get a charge. And that's why he's leaving some room there so that he can actually kind of get through. And man, I mean, that... High Reclaimer, well, not High Reclaimer, the Testament, he's pretty up there too. Now, I've never played against the Testament of Menoth before. However, I do know his feat. Now he can turn in Corporal and charge through. So that's why he's being pretty aggressive on me. And I'd like to back up, but he has Magnus tied down. And so what I decided to do here is just to kind of pop my feet and kill lots of guys. And because he left so much room here, I can Thresher and hit lots. So over here, I think the biggest thing I'm trying to show here is how I'm going to be getting through here. I mean, like I said, normally I couldn't get through this far. Another thing I'm trying to show too is actually he first had his caster a little bit farther back, and I was thinking about trampling over to get to him and kill him, and just go straight for the caster kill. But with him tucked in there, I can't really find a spot to land. It's not past him. So yeah, no caster kill, just Thresher kill time. So, yeah, look at all that dead. Magnus goes first. I've got Calamity on the Errants. I can cast magic on them because there's no UA. He kills a dude beside him, pops the feet so he can't come towards me or move side to side. His one jack there decided not to move after that happened. Mangler number 1 moves over from the right, and the nice thing is when I hit him in the shield, I'm pushed back an inch, but because I'm setting it up with that one errant behind me, that means I can't go anywhere. And then yeah, Thresher time happens. I also gave him a lot of focus, and I really thought I'd be doing a lot of damage to that jack, but all the damage I did was spaced out, and I didn't destroy anything. Nothing's crippled. So, yeah, nothing's there. Meanwhile, the other Mangler went on the left side and just, yeah, wiped out everything there. And, yeah, my Renegade popped off its shot and killed tons more guys on the left. So, yeah, he used to have a lot of dudes, and now they're dead. However, he gets a soul for every single one of those guys that died. So yeah, this is reminding me of my last game I had against Mordecai, where he's going to get to revive some guys now. But one thing is that even when he revives, he won't be able to get any charges off pretty much because of my feat. So what he does is he decides just to bring back 3. He could have brought back more, but he wants to be camping pretty good so that he won't die. So he puts them all in my back arc, which will help him hit. But, overall, they shouldn't do too much damage here because, well, I guess they could do okay damage. Once we're all done everything, yeah, he doesn't really get too much else done. Pretty much, yeah, his one jack there was down from the obliterator shot, just got back up, kind of poked at me, no real damage there. But his attacks on Magnus did tons of damage, tons and tons of damage. Now remember, he's at dice -8, so even though he's weapon masters, he should just be doing, what is it, like 2.5 points of damage for each one. So together, I mean, this should have done like 7 points of damage-ish with everything. Yeah, he did 7 points his first hit. And yeah, Magnus is actually almost dead now. So whereas I thought I was in a very strong position, because of dice, I'm almost dead, and I'm going to have to be very careful now. And he's camping so much that caster kill is not going to be the answer. So what I do on my turn is I fully camp, I turn around, I don't kill any of these guys because actually they're helping me. Because if I kill these 3, they'll just give him more souls and he can revive guys to charge me. So these guys can't charge, so it's better off doing this. I'm putting my back to that side, but with that kind of wall there in the way, he can't really charge me. So he's sitting pretty good, fully camped. Otherwise, I'm just still trying to kill all his dudes. The Mangler on the right really fluffed his rolls, but the one on the left did some okay damage. And again, at this point now, the Blessing of Vengeance is pretty damn messed up. Its arm is destroyed, which is fitting because it actually broke off. And yeah, now it's going to see if he can finish me. Otherwise, he's in a lot of trouble. And what he does first is uses a soul to kind of shimmy over here, get a little bit closer. And then his errants kind of moved over here to make their attacks. They did no damage, but then he charges through, like he popped his feet so he can get through everything, no free strikes. And, he's with me fully camped, I'm armor 23. He's only POW 14, so he's -9, but he has a lot of focus coming in. And yeah, with all that, he's able to get in the last few points of damage he needs, and Magnus goes down. So, I looking back on this one, I don't think I should have done anything too much different. I mean, there was the option there where when he did have the one guy holding me down that I could have basically just camped everything and ran, took 1 free strike, wouldn't be much damage, blah, blah, blah. And maybe because I was already doing so well that maybe could have been the way to go. But you know what? This really came down to a thing where those errants hit me in the back basically diced me. Even with all those focus, I don't think the Testament could have killed me if I would have been still at, a little bit over half health when I'm fully camped. But either way, that's the way it goes sometimes. And luckily, I didn't basically, lose in the first 2 turns. I believe this is turn 4 for him, so I get to keep on using him. So now we're going on to the 35-point game. He's switching over to Severius, which is the caster that started this whole campaign by kicking my butt. And now this is looking more like a typical Menoth army. So he has the Errants at the UA on the left. He has his Zealots now at the UA on the right. He has a Choir, 2 Vassals. He has the Reckoner. He has a Seneschal there on the far left. He has that other little light shooty jack, and yeah, it can be pretty scary when you get eMagnus and Hymn of Battle, and yeah, that's how I kind of died last time. On my side, like I said, I'm trying to go all jack heavy, which is kind of convenient because if I take all my Merc jacks, that's 35 points. So I got the Freebooter now, the Mule, double Manglers, which are 7 point because of the tier, the Renegade, Buccaneer, and a Talon. Just a real mix of jacks. And I mean, I'm sure it's not very competitive, but it's fun, and I like jacks. Otherwise, we're playing exactly the same mission, so I don't need to really re-explain this. I won the dice roll, so I forced him to go first again. And really looking at this, what I'm planning to do is win this one by scenario. So I'm planning to trying to just tie up the zealots so they can't do too much. Really, that's going to be the mule's job. The freebooter's over there just in case he's needed to, get in the zone and tie it up, or if he goes to try and score as well. And then between the manglers and all that stuff on the left, I'm pretty sure I can clear out the errants and start scoring over here. And just gotta make sure I don't get myself killed. So he gets first turn, and he's basically zipping on up. He has Vision up on the Reckoner, and he has Eye of Menoth up, and yeah, pretty much going the way you expect so far. My turn, I do the mobility, I hand out some focus, I charge off to the left side here, and then everything kind of tries to shift over. Now, mobility is awesome. +2 speed, and the Pathfinder means that basically that little buccaneer can run 18 inches. So what he does is runs all the way up to engage those knights errant to basically just tie them up and stop them from charging Magnus. And then otherwise, I'm kind of having a wall there with my 2 manglers to get in his way so he can't just, kill me. And otherwise, yeah, the jacks are in the positions I want them to be in. Talon would be nice to be farther up, but I only had so many focus to hand out. On his turn there, he is now popping the mini feat for the zealots. They're running up there, but I think I'll be able to tie up those guys pretty well. He attacks the buccaneer, and he doesn't actually destroy it. I was actually kind of hoping he would, because then that'd be a very nice spot to beat a Thresher, but no, he does some damage. Just takes out like its movement and stuff. Nothing too serious, actually. And that's really it. He does some shots into my mangler. He actually had one miss because I was actually engaged, so he had to kill one of his own zealots there. So that was kind of funny. But otherwise, yeah, that's all he really did. Something I could surely kind of point out here is Severius getting really close. Normally Severius likes to really hold back, so I'm going to be watching for this, and if I have a good way to try and kill him, that's going to be it. But so far for his turn, I mean, he did some damage to my mangler, but overall, not too bad. So on my turn, what I do is on the right side, basically I just trample in with the mule. With his reach, he's trapping 4 of his guys. The freebooter is holding down another 2. So between that, most of the zealots are they're locked down. Otherwise, with Magnus, I hand out some focus. I'm going to put up Bullet Dodger. And we had a little bit of a mess up here because I charged in, put Calamity on one of his guys. It killed him. And then we did all these rolls. And at the very end, we realized, oh yeah, in this game, he actually has the UA, so I can't cast that spell. Luckily, as it turned out, I mean, the difference is needing 4s to hit rather than 6s, and I hit all those except for 1, and then I had an extra focus anyway on a jack, and when we rolled it, he would have killed it anyway. So pretty much what this really came down to is I have 3 less focus than I could have, but as you can see there, it was really devastating. I was almost thinking that, man, maybe I should have used my Obliterator shot on that last guy to try and score, but it's not really worth it at this point. I'd rather hold that and have the threat of it. So really, I'm very safe being surrounded by my jacks, and I have Bullet Dodger, and yeah, feeling good. On his turn over here, he does something that could have been very bad. The Seneschal had enough movement to charge over here and go after the Buccaneer. Now his plan was to hit it twice and slam it through me with the crit slam. Luckily for me, he destroyed the Buccaneer, so there was nothing to slam over. And yeah, I mean, Magnus, Bullet Dodger is pretty awesome, but not when you're knocked down. So it really helped me that he crushed me. Otherwise, it looks like this. He really messed up that right mangler. That one basically has no arms anymore, so it's pretty much down. His zealots on the right, I think he kind of wasted them. It can be kind of disheartening when you're all locked down, so he didn't really even move them. He kind of made some attacks at me, and otherwise, I mean, a lot of the other ones probably could have moved, but I think it was a thing where he just kind of disheartened why he didn't really move any of his guys there. Otherwise, yeah, like I said, he did some damage to me to that one mangler, but otherwise I'm feeling pretty good. He did try and kill Epic Magnus, but thanks to Bullet Dodger and a couple of misses from his first little jack, I got myself back into the woods here, and he basically had to give up on the whole idea. And over here, one thing I should say that is now on this turn, I really figure now I should be able to easy control the zone and start scoring some points. So the one thing that was killing me is I'd leave this one Seneschal to last, because of course if you kill him first, he gets wounds from other guys and he'll be back alive. So last thing I do is I come over to kill him, miss the free attack, the charge attack. Then with my offhand attack, I leave him with one box. So I had to use my focus to kill him. I'm like, oh, great, everything worked out. However, the way he works is that when you box him, he's knocked down. And so even though he's disabled, he doesn't disappear until basically my opponent's, it's either the maintenance phase or control phase. So as I understand it, he's still here contesting. I could be wrong. If I am, please write down below, but this is something interesting. Otherwise, it looked like this, so I'm killing some of the zealots on the right side there. I cleared all the rest of the errants and the seneschal from the left side, and he already took his model off, but like I said, we figure we're not scoring yet, and I have a big bunch of metal in front of me, and I still Bullet Dodger, so he might get one shot off me, and then I can go behind that triangle of safety. So otherwise what he does then is he actually goes to kill me with Severius. So he figures now that he's in a lot of trouble. Severius comes over here, but he gets diced bad. He should have really done a lot more damage to me. I am sitting inside like a wreck marker with Bullet Dodger on, but Bullet Dodger doesn't help me against his magic stuff, and he has Menoth, so he hits me pretty easily, but when it comes to damage, he just can't roll damage, and yeah, he's in a bad spot sitting naked. When everything is done and said, his zealots try and go after my jack on the right, but there's really only so much they can do. I should mention that the way that my one jack who lost his arms actually destroyed those guys last turn was actually just trampling over them. But he tries doing a little bit more damage to him. Doesn't even bother after that with Epic Magnus because he knows I'll get away. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Except he pops his feet so that next turn I won't get any focus or anything like that. And so whereas it looks like Severius would die super easily, well, when I have no focus and my closest jack has no arms, yeah, that's not really going to happen. However, I do score on his turn, and so it's 1-0. So on my next turn, I'm looking just for now an easy scenario win. And so what I do is I basically just set up my jacks for a wall so that Magnus is completely safe. He pops his feet so he can't basically come towards me. And then on the right, just kind of kill one more dude, and the freebooter's coming over. So I score another point. It's 2-0. And on his turn, I made a little bit of a mistake here where the kind of the crux, the keystone of my whole fortress was the damage jack. So he destroys that mangler, and then here comes Severius for round 2 to kill me. And if you work out the math exactly, I should have died, but he was just a little bit under the average, and I was left with like 1 or 2 boxes left. I think it was 3, actually. 3 boxes left, when if he would have got average dice, I'd be dead. So a little bit saved here, and at the end, I'm going to score 1 point here. I'm going to stay again, score another point on my turn, and I'm also going to be able to charge his objective, destroy it for the 5th, and so we call the game here. So both games I thought were really enjoyable. I really liked them, but it really kind of came down to dice in both games, though. So, I mean, it's kind of nice that it seemed like we're kind of pretty evenly matched. It really just was dice to kind of settle both. In the first one, it was his Knights Errant cranking damage on me. And on this one, Severius's attacks being basically nerfed and him not doing the damage to kill me. So either way, it was lots of fun. And after, I decided to get a galleon. So it's one of these things where I know the galleon's been out for a long time, but I just never thought I'd be using him. I don't play pirates. I don't have Bart. But you know what? He's big and he's fun, and I think I'll try him with some of my casters. So, he won't be super good, but he should be interesting. So look forward to this, and we'll catch you later. Bye.